we're doing this to practice because we're hoping to bring on some interesting people to interview on the podcast, aren't we? So this is like a practice.
But I should have mentioned that. Yeah, this is sort of like a practice run of how we would maybe like to do the interviews, but obviously it would be me and Bobby doing the interview to them, and then it just gives us both a bit of a chance to sort of get used to it, and then if we have a listen back and sort of see what works, see what doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So, right. Well, you don't really need to introduce yourself because
they should know me.
Yeah, because you're Bobby, right?
Yeah.
So, a few things I was going to ask you about. So, I know some of the answers, but I'm just going to ask you anyways. All right.
Okay.
So, what's your favourite football team?
I'm going to say Tottenham.
Literally, go die.
Arsenal. I am an Arsenal supporter.
Gooner.
Gooner.
Do you watch many of the games or?
No, I do look at the results when I remember.
Is that a lot to do? Is that a lot to do with FPL? But you've been keeping up with it a lot more this year with Arsenal than you usually do.
Definitely, yeah. I am a bit of a fake supporter, as in I just say I support Arsenal. My mum's family comes from right by before they were at the Emirates.
At Highbury.
At Highbury, yeah. So my mum's family come from around there. So that's like my uncles and stuff. It's their like home team is Arsenal. So that's where it's come from.
I remember going to your house once, and I was in your garden having a wee, and I saw an Arsenal garden gnome.
Yes, yeah, we do.
I don't know why I was having a wee, but
I'm having a wee in my parents' garden.
No, I think it might have been the night I think I saw it might have been for your 15th or 16th birthday when we were drinking in the garden in the conservatory.
Oh yeah, no, that makes more sense. But we did have a lot of toilets.
Yeah, no, I think Jack was being sick in it, wasn't he?
Oh shit, yeah.
So do you know what? That makes a lot more sense now. Think about Jack was being sick in one of the toilets. Granted, there was another toilet, but
you had shoes on probably. You didn't want to take them off.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the other toilet I had to go through your mum's room, so I was just like, I'll just go outside.
And you saw the garden gnome. It was like a little bear, wasn't it? No, it was just a gnome.
No,
it was just a gnome.
It's like a little gnome. He had a little red hat and like a little, I don't know,
Arsenal top on.
No, almost like trousers, but like pulled up to like just under his nipples.
Seems like a gnome thing to do.
Nipples, though.
No, it wasn't a lewd gnome.
No, it did have some clothes. But anyways, right. So my next question is it's about a different sport, but I could sort of ask it for either one. But I thought this one's a bit better. Who do you support in the rugby internationally?
So this is an interesting question. Now, as you know me, Toby, I love an underdog, and so I often tell myself I will secretly. I always support England if they're playing a non-home country team. If England are playing Scotland or Wales, I do secretly hope that Scotland and Wales give them a good game, because.
Okay, but give them a good because the reason I did ask this is because you've got Scottish in you.
Yeah, my dad is Scottish.
You've got English in you.
My mum is English, yeah.
But you've lived in Wales.
Yeah. Exactly.
For the majority of your life.
Exactly. And because England usually beat Scotland and Wales, I do hope.
That's not so much like Scotland now are, I'd say, a better team than England in rugby.
Yeah. So in that case, then it will flip back to supporting England.
If they're all equal, if it's a 50-50, in the Six Nations, what does it ideally end? The Six Nations coming up for you, ideally?
Probably England.
Okay, so England first, and then
Scotland, then Wales.
And then what about France, Italy, and Ireland? Where's your love?
Ireland higher than France and Italy, and then France at the bottom.
Not a fan of the, but you love Benzema.
I am a fan of one Frenchman.
Benzema's a fan of you.
One day he'll hear about our podcast. Maybe we'll have him on. That'd be insane. I don't know if he can speak English.
No, I don't think he can. Like, I've literally never heard him speak any English in anything. He doesn't need to.
He's such a legend.
You know, he's on. Actually, before I tell you, don't look it up. Guess how much he's on a week.
Oh God!
like, guess how much he's on a week.
Is he on like 90 grand a week or something? 70 grand a week?
Okay, 90 grand a week was your first guess. Wrong. You have 3 guesses, not that one.
150 grand a week.
Wrong. Higher, by the way.
250 grand a week.
1 million a week.
1 million a week.
He gets 1 million a week. Like, his team can lose 4-0 and he gets 1 million.
Karim Benzema, please sponsor brosBTalking. We will support you no matter.
The Benzema. It's Benzema and Toby. Benzema talking. Benzema talking.
Benzema talking. We will turn into a fan cast of you if you give us.
Well, we already are basically. We already are a fan. Like, you can't.
Shush. We need to deal with him.
Oh, sorry,
Benzema, please. Even if you just gave us like 50 quid a week, we'd immediately.
Bobby has stared down the barrel of a gun for you, Benzema.
I literally have. Spanish civil police were not threatening me. They were very nice, but they were laughing.
Guns in my face.
Yeah, they did have guns, and they were wearing aviator glasses and berets. They did look kind of scary. But look, Benzema, I'd rather die than say that Gareth Bale was better than you.
Right, this next question again. It's the last sort of bit of a random one.
Okay.
Oh no, actually, it's the second last random one. Right. Is who's your favourite fighter, past or present? Because I know you're not like a massive fight fan, so I've never asked you this. Like, who's your favourite?
I like Khabib.
Khabib.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good shout. To be fair.
He's cool. I like Dustin Poirier. Is that his name? Yeah. He's cool. Oh, who's the other guy? Who's the Hawaiian guy that's really tough? Like, got like a solid chin.
You're thinking of Max Holloway, but he's not Hawaiian. He's from America, I believe.
Okay, yeah. Hawaii is in America. It's one of the states.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I like Max Holloway as well.
Oh fuck! Why is that getting clipped?
Yeah. But yeah, I know Khabib hasn't fought in ages, and he didn't actually fight that many times. But I just like the idea of him being like.
Nah, he still fought 29 times.
That is a lot, yeah, and undefeated, pretty big.
Yeah, like it is what it is. I think that he could have made his legacy better, but then also at the same time, everyone looks unbeatable until they lose. So
exactly, yeah.
I know that sounds a bit cliche, but it's true.
That's what I've been saying about you when you're charity boxing events.
So yeah, I'm about to say I didn't think that you'd think of anyone like that obscure. To be fair.
No, I don't know anyone that obscure. I know a couple from the UFC fighting games, but I can't remember the names at the moment.
So you were talking about the animals earlier, right?
Yeah.
Question for you: what animal scares you the most?
Oh, Toby. Wow. So, crocodiles and crocodilians scare me.
What about bears, man?
Bears?
So I'm just. We can't have a conversation about the animals we're scared of and not throw bears into the conversation.
See, I'm not afraid as
I'm not afraid
of bears, only because they're furry. I think. Have you seen a hairless bear before? If they look like that
but I
all
still feel like that would be scary. I feel like that would be even scarier for me, actually.
Yeah, they're scary as. I'll get a picture up on stream. Hang on. But
What of a furless bear?
yeah, there's some that have like skin conditions. But yes, you're right. In a situation where I was near a bear, I would be shitting myself. But I think there's something about being in water where I'm even more helpless than on land. And I know a bear can climb a tree faster than me. I know he can run faster than me. But I still would prefer to be running from a bear than swimming with like a 12, 14-foot crocodile in the water, because I can't even see it. I mean, if I'm in the water, I can't even see the crocodile. It is...
But you don't necessarily have to be in the water for a crocodile to approach you.
No, but on land, I think they wouldn't be as creepy, although they are. They
Don't
do
they
have
run up to
explosive
like 60
feed.
miles per hour?
Yeah. I said speed. They have explosive speed, so their
But
tails
they
whip.
can't turn, can they? That's why you have to go in zigzags.
No, well, you don't want to run in a perfect zigzag. You want to run in a zigzag off to one side, because if you're doing a perfect zigzag, you're kind
They'll
of
just they'll catch you off when you're going in the middle.
exactly. Yeah.
That'd
So
be hilarious way to go. Then
yeah,
wait
yeah,
for you to go
exactly.
back.
If you're trying to jukes it, but you're not actually moving that far away from it, it's it will get you.
And like, who learned that? The first one is like, how did you get away? Like, mate, I zigzagged. It's like, why did you? Why was that your initial instinct to do that?
Yeah.
It's like, look, mate, I know it sounds stupid, but look, I'm alive, and now everyone does it.
No, yeah. I
Or
think
what if it's one of those things that doesn't work, and there's loads of people that just die, just getting chased in a zigzag? They're like, fuck's sake, I should have just run straight.
yeah. No, I bet that I bet that is
It's
true
like
for some
punching
things.
it's like when they say if you get attacked by a shark, I'll just punch it on the nose. I'm now like, mate, people stiffen up when they see somebody get punched in a bar, let alone if you're in a water and you see a bloody shark coming towards you. I think I would probably faint.
Yeah. No, definitely.
That is scarier than a fluffy bear. What is that?
That is a hairless bear, Toby. Imagine that the size of a bear coming at you. That would be terrifying.
That is terrifying. Is that like an old bear?
No, I think he has a skin condition, bless him.
Well, of course it does. Dude, hasn't got any bloody hair on it. It's freezing, bless him.
Yeah, get him. Get him in a jumper.
What would you? Hang on. If we had to have that as our we both had joint custody of that bear, what would we call that?
I can think of a really mean one off the bat of one of our friends. I'd call him Morgan.
I was about to say, give me a hint. You just straight out Morgan, boom.
No, but that's mean. He is our least follically blessed friend.
No, I wasn't even. I was thinking more like Trevor.
Trevor would be a good name for him. What about Jim? Like from The Office?
No, yeah, I think too much like The Office. We'd need a Pam.
What about Dwight?
Oh my god, he does look a bit like a Dwight, doesn't he?
Yeah.
What did Dwight do down on that farm?
He plucked a bear. Took all his
Oh, the
head.
bear fucked him. Either way, they
I said pluck, not fuck.
Oh.
Oh God! Right.
Oh.
He fucked him.
Well, it's just a logical thing because obviously, don't make me out to be weird for that.
I'm not making. I didn't say anything. I didn't.
No, fuck you.
No, so I agree. Bears are scary, especially when they're hairless. But
Right. Well,
crocodiles are scarier, I think.
Okay. Right. On the last sort of thing, right? On animals, bit of a would you rather question.
Yeah.
Would you rather that dogs were able to fully understand you, or you were able to understand dogs, but they still didn't understand you? So, like, you could be talking to the dog and they'd be like, fucking idiot. And you'd be like, well, I'm doing what you want me to do. And they still can't understand you, or the other way around.
So that's a good question. I don't think dogs have too complex thoughts.
That's why I chose the first one.
Yeah, that's what I'm leaning on too. If the dog could fully understand what I wanted it to do, but then it doesn't stop the dog from being like, "Fuck you, I'm just not going to do it anyway." Whereas if I understand the dog, I can tell like what he wants. Can read his little puppy mind. It's mostly food.
I,
Dogs
but
just want food and to play.
I think the thing that's overlooked in them, what I had written, the reason why I did write it down is, but they don't understand you.
Yeah, so that
And
makes sense.
I think that's the one of like, because I know we sort of try and think of how to sort of like cheat the system of having the best communication with the dog, but like it sort of works both ways. Like they would still be there, like I still have no idea. Like you're saying sit, and they're like what, and then you're looking at them, and you can hear them saying what, and you're like, what do you mean what? Sit.
Yeah. So the dog being able to understand you perfectly would be useful.
So I feel like I influenced your answer there. Sorry.
No. I was leaning on that answer anyway, just because even if you could understand the dog, like you said, the dog is not thinking much about things. He's thinking, "Oh, I really wish I was outside," or "Is that a cat or a squirrel?" That's what the dog's thinking 90% of the time. Where's my ball? I wish I was outside.
But
Where's
you
food?
think that, but imagine if your dog just didn't like you.
Oh no, that would be heartbreaking. I wouldn't want to know if a dog didn't like me. It'd be too sad.
Yeah, no, that would be a bit peak. Right. All these next questions are to do with your streaming.
Yes, I stream on the DriftBJS channel. I stream most weekdays, and I just play video games and chat. Sometimes I have friends on, such as Toby.
Now, so when did you first start streaming on Twitch?
I started streaming over 2 years ago.
What made you want to start doing that?
So the story is that I was playing a game called Subnautica, and I was back from uni, and I'd finished my masters, and so I was sitting around at home, and it was during COVID, and I wanted to go traveling, so I didn't want to start too serious a job. And while one day I was playing a game called Subnautica, and my dad came into the room, and he was interested in the game, and he'd stand and watch me for like not like ages, but he'd stand and watch and talk to me about the game for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I've always watched video game content, and I've always known of Twitch. I'm not very in tune with the sort of Twitch drama and sort of inner community, but I've always been on the sort of outskirts of it. And I thought, you know what? If he's interested in what I'm doing, I've consumed this media my entire life for people playing video games and chatting. Why don't I give it a go? I mean, I've got the time. It was during COVID. I'd finished my uni degree. I was just going to work a part-time job to save enough money to go traveling. That was like my only goal. So I thought, while I'm there, I'll just start it up. And so just less than 3 years I've been streaming.
That's pretty mad, to be fair. Because I remember talking to you about it when you first sort of started, and I remember you saying to me, "You were like, look, I'm playing the game anyways, so there's no harm in me streaming it and seeing what happens." And
Exactly.
You've definitely evolved as a streamer from like going on to your stuff. Like you do have quite a wide variety of stuff that you do, and a bit like it's interesting because there are some games that if you're playing it, it'll be on. I'm like, okay, yeah, I won't watch this one because I'm not as interested in the game. Or there's that one game. What's the game that I don't watch? The one that has the music in it.
Yes, Valorant. I don't play that anymore.
Yeah, I was about to say, whenever you played that one, I wouldn't watch it because the constant music of it annoys me.
Yeah.
And I found it hard to concentrate on what you were saying. So how long roughly do you do a stream for, and what was your longest stream that you've had so far, if you know it, or you know roughly what it might be?
So I tend to stream for an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Okay.
That's the sort of good amount of time that I can fit into an evening. I think ideally I'd like to stream for 3 hours. I've streamed for 3 hours a couple of times before. Maybe 3 hours, 20 minutes would be my longest, I imagine.
And what game was you playing when you did that?
I think one of them I wasn't even playing a game. I think one of them I was drawing the emotes. So when you become affiliated, you gain access to make your own like emotes that people that follow you or subscribe to you, they have access to the emotes. And I was drawing them on Paint and like putting them into my thing. And I think that was a long one.
Pretty damn long, to be fair. Like do you think that you will ever, like? Do you think you're aiming to have like a longer one? Do you think you'll ever do like a 5 hour one?
Hopefully one day. I think the thing
I'd
is
love to do. I'd love to do a 5 hour one with you. Maybe one day, me and you went right, like, and we
risk.
sort of figured out what. Yeah, risk would be a really good one. Just and we could, me and you, we could just start early, and it could be one of those that like people come on, and then by the time they come on, it's like I don't know, like 11 o'clock in the morning. We do it on like a Saturday or something. Start early on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And then just go through them. But
I'll
yeah,
be
no,
up for that.
I think that would be good fun. And then I would say Among Us, but I need to play it first before I'm committing to playing 5 hours of it. Because I don't think I could play 5 hours of Fall Guys. I think that would get a bit tedious. I could probably do 5 hours of Fortnite, but I know you can't do that. But even then, that would get a bit tedious. Like
5 hours Among Us would get a bit tedious. I couldn't imagine
yeah,
that.
I could imagine that getting a bit tedious.
But yeah, I would like to stream for longer because with Twitch, I think the longer your streams, the more people drop into the stream, the more people chat to you, and the more followers you get. Basically, I think if the longer you stream.
Definitely, like I remember because I was about to say, cause I have a channel, Barbaric Ballot.
Shout out.
I I haven't streamed in a while, but I remember when I streamed for like a couple of weeks here, doing bits and bobs here and there, and I realised that once I went over the 2 hour mark, I actually started randomly getting viewers,
Yeah.
and like I was like actually like communicating with people, but my Wi-Fi kept cutting out, and I just ended up sort of giving up on it, and then. But I am going to start doing it. I might get the new FIFA because I need to have a game relevant that people want to watch. Like nobody wants to watch a FIFA 22 game.
Especially with things like FIFA, most sort of Call of Duties.
Yeah, like
there are some
everyone
classics.
wants to know the new one, the new map and stuff like that. Like
yeah.
The only reason people would want to watch the old one is if they've got that one. Like I think that some of the people that were watching me are people that were like me, that's the newest FIFA that they have.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'll but yeah. Anyways, enough about Barbaric Ballot. When it's back to life, I can start talking about it. Right. Right. Any awkward moments that you've had on stream?
Oh, definitely. One I thought of just now.
You're like, what just now?
Yeah. No. So one I thought of is I was once asked to name my top 3 animals, and my brain just went blank, and I couldn't think of anything. It was when I was just starting out streaming as well. I only had one monitor. What I'd do is I'd open up OBS, click start streaming. I didn't have a stream deck or anything, and I'd quickly close tab and open up the game, and I'd be looking at my iPad for the chat, and yeah, I remember once a friend of mine, it wasn't even a random viewer, was like, "Oh, name your top 3 animals," and my brain went blank, and I couldn't think of any animals.
Couldn't think of 3 animals?
No, I really couldn't, and I just like froze up, and I stopped talking for like 5 minutes. That was a pretty bad like teething, starting off issue. But then the most common awkward situation you get into if you stream regularly, you get some chatters that are either selling you something, usually their graphic design, or are just a little bit weird or rude. And I haven't experienced it enough to really know how to deal with it yet, and I do find that quite awkward.
I was about to say, I think that definitely that if I did have one criticism of you is I think that you pay attention to them. That I will just if I was like I just ignore them. Like whenever we're doing this, if I see them comment, I just ignore it. Because and like what I do is I like talk to somebody. I'm like, look, if you want to follow us and like listen to us, but if you only listen to us for like 1 minute and you're asking to do stuff for us, it's like you don't even know what we're about.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we could be talking about anything or stand for anything. Like you know what I mean? Like you want people to at least listen to you and get to know you and all of that stuff.
Yeah,
but
we'd rather pay a fan.
We're still very early days. Like we're in our second episode.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, we're in our second episode. Like it feels a little bit longer for us because of when we was in our previous one, but for this one, like we are, and it is a new channel, it's new people. We've had to create new pages and all this, that, and the other. So yeah, like it, and then hopefully we'll be able to get some edits and stuff like that on. I need to be able to sort a camera out because it'd be a lot more enjoyable for you guys, because you guys will come to know that I am very, is it what's it called?
Fidgety.
No, theatrical. It's like theatre, like with my
Theatrical.
hands. Like when
Yeah.
I talk, I'm very. I forgot the name.
He gesticulates with his hands quite a lot.
Yeah, like I point and do all that sort of stuff, and I'll stand up quite a lot to explain a story. And then I'll probably have to like move the camera.
Yeah, just walks out of frame.
Yeah, still just like chatting away, just like slowly getting quieter and quieter.
Just Gandalf cat in the background.
Mate, the Gandalf cat is legendary.
It is. I love it. It's a great poster.
What was there any awkward? Have you had any awkward moments on pod with me? And do you remember any? If so,
no particularly awkward moments that jump to mind. Obviously, you've got the people trying to sell us graphic design solutions.
Yeah, but I would even say maybe even like in the last pod, because there was. I remember I told you the other day. I was like, there was like we had like a 10-second or 11-second of silence, and I think it's because we both just didn't want to talk over each other, and we were getting used to. We're still getting used to it being 2, not 3.
Yeah.
And it's knowing that because we're used to sort of stopping and talking for a third of the time, and then knowing that we both got to fill up 50% of it. And
yeah,
knowing
definitely.
that we're always responding to each other.
There's less structure.
I think we're getting the hang of it, and it will get better. And I think I think once we have these cameras, we can even maybe still have that logo up, but in one corner have me, and one corner you have you.
Yeah, definitely. We can work out some solution.
And then what we can do is then you could have like the search bar of the internet in the middle, and then we'll have whatever videos and stuff we want to react to. That is something I am going to look into, because I watch loads of react videos, and one of the videos I watch, he's on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
And he literally will watch an entire film, and his videos are about like, for like Harry Potter, they're like 50 minutes long.
Oh, he cuts out
filler. He won't show the whole film, but he'll show lots of it in like a little screen in the middle, and be like the highlights of it, and it'll be him reacting to it.
Yeah, React channels do get a lot of traction, and we can do
But how
things.
do they not get copy strike? That's what I'm getting confused at.
So I can explain that to you quickly. So a lot of content on the internet is covered by fair use, and what that means is that if you're being transformative enough, it's not copyrightable. So transformative means you're putting your own spin on it. So, for example, if you uploaded the whole Harry Potter film, you get copyright struck by Warner Brothers Studios. But if we uploaded the whole Harry Potter film, but we put it on a little TV in the corner of the screen,
and then you have us like actually reacting to it.
Yeah, and us talking over most of the film, we could argue that they're like trying to silence our opinions by copyright striking that, and that we are transforming the media enough that no one that wants to watch Harry Potter is going to be tricked into watching our video. Tricked is important because they might watch our video instead, but they're not going to go. An old lady isn't going to go, oh, I want to see a Harry Potter, type Harry Potter in, and then watch our whole video.
Type in brosBTalking.
Yeah, exactly. Watch the whole video with me and you, throwing our hands around, talking about it, Becky coming in to comment on it and stuff, and then go, oh, I watched Harry Potter, I'm not going to buy the Harry Potter film now. So it's that fine line, and you're right, there isn't a clear line where, do you credit the original source properly? Are you transforming it by just having a little screen in the corner?
Well, I reckon we maybe go for it, see what we go. We get struck for it, we can always take it down and then see where we go from there.
Exactly, yeah, and because we're not making money yet.
So sorry to interrupt you. One of my videos got taken down, and it was just because I went to the toilet and I was in the toilet for longer than a whole song. So there was the whole song playing in the back of FIFA
Yeah.
without any of me talking or the commentary of the game or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it got struck because it, as you said, it's like no difference. Obviously, I could argue it and stuff, but obviously it wasn't that deep.
No.
Like that's fine.
Twitch is all right with it because Twitch will sometimes it will remove your video and make a big deal of it. I remember the first time it happened to me, but what it does after that is it just mutes the section of that video if it's music. It's detected. In the saved video, and like you said, if you just said no, I'm going to ignore the copyright thing, very unlikely the music company are going to be striking me and you at the moment. If we did get popular and say when we do get popular and we have like 100,000 views or 1 million views, that's when we're at risk of getting sued.
Well, we can cross that bridge when we get to it.
Inevitably get to it. Yeah.
Right. What was your first thoughts and worries you had about starting our pod channel?
I might do a little bit of a story time here. So Toby and a friend wanted to start a podcast, and they sent me through a video to review, and it was recorded.
It was a video of me and the other person doing it, and we'd done it like in a park.
Sort of by randomly. A road. Yeah, and I remember thinking the chat wasn't bad. It was the equipment and the situation, and I thought, you know what? Why don't you guys give it a go on my channel? Do you remember the first couple we did literally on my DriftBJS channel?
Yes. No. We were there like we just wanted to see what it could be like, and you already had a platform. We were just there like, look, and you were there like, look, I don't mind if you do it. Like you didn't mind doing it, and
no.
Well, thankfully, you didn't mind doing it, and we're in this position we are now.
Yeah, exactly, and we ended up doing a couple on my channel, then making our own channel for the podcast that resulted from that, and you guys asked me to join permanently. And now it's just me and you. but some of my main worries.
No, what I was about to say. Let me rephrase. Like, without getting into all that situation, we can get into it maybe another day. But I don't necessarily think it's like worth really mentioning. But what were your thoughts about? I'm on about brosBTalking.
Okay.
So when you knew it was just when we were like, right, going to be me and you, and we'd spoken about what we were going to do. Like, we even now, like, we're in the early days. So like, what are your first thoughts or worries you have about starting our pod channel? So like, there was like any good thoughts or any like little worries, big thoughts, little thoughts, like.
They're all little. I think I'll start with positives, of course. I think Toby, you
do you feel like one for one sort of thing?
Yeah, we'll do. I think you are the talent. I think you say a lot of funny things. I am glad that you're on here with me, and I think you have a good presence on the podcast. So I was happy.
Thank you very much, kind sir.
No worries. Then you're not the most reliable person, and there is a lot going on with Toby. There is a reason he calls me 2 times a week, and it's not because he has a boring life. And if I miss a week, if I'm on holiday or something, it genuinely, the situation in Toby's life is totally turned around, changed.
Oh, what I will say actually, and I was thinking about this earlier, and I said it and in my head, and I was like, and then I was like, actually, I think it's true, and that is, I think that I'm always notoriously late and like always like
yeah,
everything's always like up in the air, but every Wednesday I'm available.
Yeah, and that is my second point. As we have done a different podcast, which is now Lost Media, I did know that you did fairly commit to that, and I knew that you were going to be reliable. So that's my other positive. And then my other little negative thought is just simply me and you, although I have the technical experience, I don't really have the time to edit videos properly and really like do all the things that I want to do with the channel. And we both don't really have the technology to do everything that we want to do. So that's my other worry.
But like sometimes I think that like I think that me and you both have the same mindset on this. Is that like as much as we're both the same, sort of like we don't have the time that we would want to, but we also know it's better to, with the free time we have, to do it than to not do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. We might as well give it a go, which is the final positive, that we both have a similar mindset around it, and we'll just do.
I was about to say that I think there's no we do reach for the stars, but we're never really down in the dumps. We'll find a silver lining to the situation.
Exactly. Yeah.
What's the main difference between streaming with me compared to doing it by yourself?
So I like streaming with other people. I really enjoy it because it's nice to have someone to talk to. I feel like different personalities bring different things to streams, and obviously appeal to different people in different ways. Even if this was like drama filled and we brought on your worst enemies, Toby, someone's going to want to watch you talk to them. You know what I mean? It adds a lot more interest, I think, than just being on my own. However, I play a lot of games that none of my friends have ever liked. I
do try with having the PS4. I do try where I can.
Yeah, no, you do, and you know, people have tried in the past. Like I used to play like Halo Reach with some guys at school, but I was never that into COD. I was never into the same games as other people. I liked Total War growing up. I played a lot of like Total War, Shogun 2, and Rome 2, Medieval, and I've never really played online with other people. Like I remember I had an Xbox for ages and didn't have Xbox Live because the games I was playing.
Me and you were both like that. Like loads of people had Xbox Live, and I was like, I'd see career mode.
Yeah, no, exactly, and yeah, you're the same. Where we're kind of used just to playing video games on our own. Like we don't, you know, some people are like, since Thingy stopped playing COD, I just haven't played it since. And I'm like, well, I've always just played video games quietly on my own. Even if I was banned from streaming tomorrow, I'd probably just play video games on my own.
For a second then, Bob, I thought you were like, even when I was banned from streaming, I was like, hold up.
Yeah, that would make a story. Not yet. I haven't been banned yet.
What's something that's more difficult with doing a pod with me? And what's one thing that makes it easier? So basically, I meant to word it as, what's like a one pro and one con of doing the pod with me, having someone to do the pod with instead of doing it alone.
Yeah, so
I think it is more of a pod than gaming sort of question.
Yeah. I think the easy answer would be your internet, and my internet, to be honest, historically has been bad. But obviously, if I'm talking about you, your internet can be bad, and Toby does cut out sometimes, and I do have to fill the air. I don't find that too awkward though, because before I had someone else on, and then I also, because I stream on my own most evenings, every evening I can, I'm not too bad at filling dead air with random nonsense.
And touch wood, it hasn't done it today.
No, it hasn't. No, I haven't. I've noticed.
Well,
that.
I did have the Wi-Fi man come over today, didn't I?
Yeah, so maybe that's fixed
so
it.
It could be like I did say it was going to get fixed, and apparently it's been fixed. Like he said, he didn't really know what was wrong with it. Gave me a new one, like plug socket thing. I don't know. Sorted it all out. But yeah,
that's pretty good.
Carry on.
Yeah, so I think internet. Also, you are fidgety, and sometimes you, for example, Toby has received a McDonald's takeaway while on the pod. Toby
several times. Popeyes
several times. Toby does eat.
Like, I've decided to eat my dinner. Like I cook myself a roast dinner. Like it's because I struggle. Like I do struggle to do something. Like I've done it before where I've had my volume on nothing and I've just been looking at my team on career mode. So it's just something for me to look at, because And I think that's why the cameras are going to be good for me, because I'll be looking at what you're doing and what with you talking and what's going on the screen. And like it helps with what we've got with this like loading screen, because it changes color and it goes sort of like through the motion sort of thing.
Yeah, I kind of like it. It was inspired by AI art. I showed Toby what the AI put out for a logo of for a podcast. It's terrifying.
Oh, mate, you got to try and pull that up when you can.
I'll look into getting it up. It is terrifying.
Right, we are near the end of the questions. Where would you like to see your channel by the end of the year? And the same question, but for brosBTalking.
brosBTalking's easiest. I want us affiliated. I want us to have our own emotes, and I want us to have regular uploads.
Can you give us some, maybe like some rough numbers, maybe something that we could almost like clip up and remember what it could be? So like, what would your aim for like Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch be, like, roughly?
Okay, Instagram, I'm going to go with 30 followers. How many are we on
I
at the
think
moment?
we've already got 30 followers.
Okay, I'm going to go with 90 followers. How many do we have?
90. Oh yeah, it's at the end of the year, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell Toby's in charge of the Instagram. I would like to have 4 followers on Instagram, please.
What about Twitch?
So Twitch, I'd like to see us at 75 to 80 followers.
Okay.
I think 75 I'll go with.
And what about YouTube?
YouTube, I want us at 25 to 30 subscribers, with at least 15 organic subscriptions.
Okay.
People that we don't know.
All right. I rate those. I rate those targets. We've definitely got quite a few targets that we're going to have to clip up, maybe.
Yeah.
Of maybe a target clip or something. Right, and then what are your favorite streamers or podcast people and podcast people? I think I've asked you this before, but I just wanted to have it because it sort of like went with the questions.
Okay, so my favorite streamers, I think Hat Films are my favorite content creators overall. They stream on Twitch, they upload YouTube videos, and they have a podcast called Hat Chat.
Okay, and what sort of stuff do they talk about?
Oh, total nonsense. They don't really. They're vulgar. They are dumb sometimes. I just find it funny. It's just nonsense that I like to listen to.
Okay, that sounds cool.
Yeah, it's they're quite good. I've watched the YouTube videos since I was like literally 14, 13, maybe 12. So yeah, I do like them still. I think my biggest inspiration for my own channel is a YouTube creator called Angori Tom. He sort of plays games. He's a very chill guy. He likes Warhammer. He does streaming as well, and so he's probably my go-to, what I'd say I want to reflect in my personal streams. Podcasts, I like Chapo Trap House. I listen to Politics Joe Pubcast. I think they're funny.
See, like for me, like I'm always. I'd love for you to send me over one of your podcasts, because like when I listen to podcasts, I would say 80 or 90% of when I'm listening to a podcast is them talking about football or fighting.
Yeah.
Where they're talking about actual fights or games coming up, or actual fights and games that have happened.
Yeah, sports related.
Yeah. Like I do a lot of sport related stuff, and then I said I used to watch the show the Waffling.
Yeah.
Well, I think they posted a video on Joe Weller's channel.
Yeah.
And they called it Not Waffling, so I don't know if there's sort of a rights thing going on or something. But they sort of stopped doing it. But they were on about getting back. They did one the other day and were sort of back doing it. And it's sort of nice to sort of see them doing it. But they sort of that sort of reminds me of sort of like chilling with with the boys.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and when they're talking and making fun of each other, sort of like I can imagine like it sort of being like that with you guys, like when Joe sort of gets a bit like big headed, I sort of like when I get a bit big headed, then if something goes wrong, like you boys like, hey, like, cause you know what I mean? That's just what boys do. Like it's just some banter.
I do enjoy podcasts like that too.
But yeah, we definitely have to send each other some podcasts and have a little idea. It'd be interesting if they're similar or not.
I don't think they will be. I don't think they will be.
No, I don't think they will. I think if we both tried to get one that was similar, we could get one.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Right, so that is the last of my questions about anything to do with Drifty or brosBTalking. Is there anything that I've left out that you want to mention?
No, not really. I think you did a good job there. Yeah.
Oh thank you, Drifty, for being our guest. And then, sorry, there is one. Well, now I'm just talking. Now I'm talking to you, Bobby.
Okay, right.
We're back to Bobby.
Let me change my personality from DriftBJS.
You're like, yo.
Okay, I'm ready. Yo, where am I? Who are you? What am I doing with headphones on?
How is your house search going? And are you able to give us any update on what's going on?
Yeah, so the house me and my girlfriend are renting is going up for sale, which means they could at any moment give us a 2-month ultimatum to move out. We've got our deposit together and we've talked to a mortgage broker, and he's been very reassuring, and he's talked us through all the additional costs and things to look out for. He's even given us advice at bargaining for a house. We've got 2 houses that we're looking at. We've got a viewing on Friday, and we're hoping to get an agreement in principle, which is basically...
It must be nervous when you're thinking of buying a house compared to like renting it, because like if you
Definitely.
rent it, like you're there, like you know that you can pull out at any time, but when you know that you're buying that property, like I mean, we were talking about it the other day, weren't we? About when people buy property, like you are like planting yourself there for a long time.
Yeah, and it's ultimately a lot of money, and you are being held responsible for all that money. You know, you take out.
But there's nowhere to go.
No, exactly, and you've taken out basically a mortgage as a massive loan from a bank, and so technically the bank owns your property at the beginning, and then you pay it back slowly.
So, is there a chance that we could do a podcast in your new house sometime this year?
There is. No, hopefully, yes. Hopefully soon.
Well, when I next come up, we are definitely doing an episode or 2 that we're going to record. Do definitely one live where we're next to each other.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. That'd be really good.
Because yeah, we definitely need to do that. Now moving on. Now I know we're going to be wrapping it up soon, but talking about people getting houses and shit, we got the we got I know there's no date, but we're both going to be best men for L.
Yes, we are. He will feature on the podcast eventually.
Yeah, so he will feature on the podcast before the wedding.
Definitely. They don't have a date yet.
I'm even been prepared. You would. I've got quite a bit of a speech written down as well. Don't worry, Bobby's yet to proofread it, and then, so this is when it comes out, and then Bob's like, we were able to keep the first word.
Yeah.
Everything else was just not suitable.
Hello, my name is Toby. Is the only thing. It's the only thing we kept.
Yeah, and then raise your glass.
Yeah.
So like just down your drink, Toby. Just be like, everybody, 10, 9. We like to drink with that, yeah, because it's our mate.
Making him neck a drink in your best man speech is pretty...
Can you imagine Kirsty's dagger eyes at me?
Oh, no.
I'll admit, I've run for the hills. You don't fuck with the bride.
No, not on a wedding day.
No, like nah. I'm gone. I'll be down. I don't think Elliot will be able to save me in that. That's fair.
No.
We should kill Elliot than me.
Yeah.
Or I'd just run away while she was killing Elliot. I'd use that time to get away. Have you done any more thinking about like stag do's and stuff like that? Obviously I know we can't say anything detailed.
So I've been getting a lot of TikToks about being a best man. I think TikTok read my brain there or saw one of our messages. I haven't written anything down for the speech. I know we are going to be, but it's not been 100% confirmed yet. So, but yeah, if we are, I'm looking forward to it. I think Stag Do is mostly going to be your planning with my input. I'll be your manager. You'll come up with all the ideas. I'll refine it.
Mate, we're pure joint effort. We'll sort it out. But the thing is that we've been given plenty of time.
Oh yeah.
So I think if we've been given a month, I think there could have been some mad stuff happening.
Yeah, definitely. We had no time to prep.
I think at that point I'd there is just some mad stuff happening. Right. Well, I was going to ask you about what sort of countries, if you were to have a stag, would you want to go to if you were going to go abroad? But it is getting a bit late. Maybe we save that for the next time we are on pod.
We can save that for next time.
Yeah. Well, have you got anything else to add?
No. Thank you very much for the interview.
Well, no, thank you very much for coming on, Mr. Drifty. Yeah, and well, hopefully we'll be able to get some guests on. So I won't say their name because I need to get a little confirmed, but we're looking to get some guests on that have got their own podcast, and then we can talk to them about what they do and their own stuff, because we need to know how they managed to do it, because they managed to get edits and short videos out daily and lots of them, and we need to find out who that guy is.
Yeah, we need to hire him.
or girl, whoever it is, and hire them.
Definitely.
Right, well, thank you very much for listening.
Cheers.